And we and we are live. Good evening, everyone. Or should I say, oh my God, good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say good evening, good night, good morning, depending on where you're tuning in from. My name is Niffin. This is the SW6 Show. I can't count how many episodes there have been. And I am joined today by my regular co-host, Mr. Madball, and we will be discussing all the events that happened this week, both Chelsea men's and Chelsea women's. I'll let Matt talk about the Chelsea women's. Anyway, how are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, probably the less said about the women, the better in terms of my PTSD of Sunday. But there you go. Yeah, other than that, I'm okay. It's been a busy day for me, so it's good to take time away from the busy day to do a show with you, Nippin.
Do you think we were genuinely outwitted by Barcelona, or did the referees do us over again? Or a bit of both?
I would say both factors were in play, but the major factor was we were just outclassed on both days. There's a lot of reasons contributing to it. I mean, the fact that your starting front three in Lauren James, Sam Kerr, and Gura Wrighton were missing for both games. One of your starting centre backs missing. The centre back you brought in to replace her only played 45. It has only played 90 minutes since she came because of injury. So we were a very weakened squad against a team that I don't like to admit it, but quality-wise is by far the best, is already the best team in women's football. So every player has to be at 100% to have a chance of beating this side. We did that last year in the first leg at Barcelona. We got completely cheated out in the second leg last year. This year we took a step back, I think.
The smirk on that referee's face still. Ah!
Yeah. Well, the referee.
She knew she was being paid off. That's why the smirk.
Well, talking about referees this time, there was, it was the same sort of thing of everything went Barcelona's way. Every foul, every corner, everything just generally. That wasn't why we lost. We would have lost either way. But the point that just made me laugh, if anything, I've gone past the point of being angry. I just laughed in the end. The referee.
Yeah, because what else can you do? If you don't laugh, you're going to tear your hair out.
Nippy, I don't know if you know about this incident, but I'm going to let you know. The referee fully, just boom, ran straight through Erin Cuthbert, absolutely flooring her to the ground, and just played on as if nothing could ever happen.
What, the referee physically assaulted her?
She literally just full on just ran into her. Whether it was by accident or on purpose, I'm not going to make the judgment of that.
Why doesn't, if it's on purpose, Erin Cuthbert should have just take.
Even if it is by accident, the referee should stop the game, make sure that Erin's all right, and probably do a drop ball or something or pass back to the goalkeeper to start again. No, she just played on. She just played on like it never even happened. I was like, what? What? How? There's literally the definition of 12 women. And because I'm 12 minutes, we were literally a man down because they're taking
a woman down.
Yeah, I mean, it bemused me, and I was unfortunately, I'm gonna get the picture up on my phone. I was unfortunately very close to the Barcelona fans, and it was a good test of my patience.
Did they laugh at you?
So that is how close I am. See where behind them Stuarts, That's
Yeah.
I was probably at 10
I
seats away
can't
from
see.
them.
I was at a red light, but now I'm not. As in, I can't see, as in, I can't look.
Okay,
Show
but,
me when I'm at another red light.
but let me
When
know when
I'm
you're at a red
stopped.
light.
It'll probably be when I'm stopped.
Yeah, but yeah, I was very close, and I had to, I it took it was good, it was good practice of making sure I was calm. Um, but every time Barcelona fans started piping up with their songs, I just turned and started going Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. There was about 10 of us that joined in to try and drown them out until we went 3-0 down, and then everyone around me kind of stopped because we're 3-0 down, and I was like, oh, I'll try and do it myself.
Do you
But
think Barcelona fans know you were robbed? Or do they? They probably do, but they just won't care to admit it.
well, no, they're too. Barcelona fans are too in their own bubble. They come out with at the towards the end of at the end of the game. They come out with they brought out this folded up sign. Oh, it was the thing that infuriated me. I had to leave because at that point, because I was just like, I'm done. But it come out and it said, checkmate Chelsea with the S being a dollar sign. And it said 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. No, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. And I just looked at that and was like, you can't hold. I was like, hold on a minute. You cannot be calling us Chelsea with money just because we've signed a couple of players for not free agents. Just because we've actually we actually buy players. Considering you literally buy you buy your competitions, you buy your trophies because they're just they're just paying brown. Next time I want to go with some brown envelopes, just starting to wave some brown envelopes about, because it is frustrating.
Do you think? Do you
I
think?
do I have even clubs like Tottenham, Arsenal, dare I say it, even teams like Celtic. I dislike them to the core, but I would never want the club to be completely liquidated. Just because I wouldn't want that to happen to my club, so I wouldn't want it to happen to other people. Barcelona, I don't care. Liquidate the men, liquidate the women, liquidate the under sevens, the under eights, nines, tens, all of them gone. It's a
It's a
horrible club.
disgrace.
It's a horrible club, and I can't stand it. And what made things worse is that Arsenal women beat Lyon, and they're in the final now. I mean, they won't win it because Barcelona will just they're playing Barcelona, so they'll probably suffer a similar fate to us.
Good.
But I'm like,
I hope
but
Arsenal never. I hope Arsenal don't win it.
but Melina probably. I'm glad Melina didn't message me because I'm sure she probably thought about it. And I was just like, oh no, like
I'll probably tell you why she didn't.
because she knows what's
Because
coming.
she's a Real Madrid fan as well.
She knows what's coming.
No, 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 no. I know why she didn't message you. Because she's also a Real Madrid fan.
Yeah, but Arsenal comes first, I think, with her. Unless it's N'Golo Kante, then N'Golo Kante comes first. But yeah, I'm
Speaking of him, do you think we should go try and sign him back in the summer?
no,
Why not? Experience. He'll
because
be a good asset in the dressing room.
I think we have um we have very short memories. The reasons Kante left was because he was on a lot of wages and was barely playing because he kept getting injured. So my argument would be why after 2-3 years of him being in Saudi Arabia at such a lower level, and probably not fit enough to play again, and he's not like he smashed it out there and been Kante of old or whatever. What? How? I think I don't even. I think it'd be even worse in terms of fitness to come back to the Premier League now.
What about Aurelien Chouameni?
I've always liked Schumann. If Schumann comes in, I've said for a while, if Real Madrid are really serious about Enzo Fernandez, they can pay us a little bit of money and give us Schumann.
The
But
ball is in our court
I
though when
don't
it
I
comes to
don't think it will
Enzo.
happen. I think if there's any Real Madrid player that potentially might come to us, it's Rodrigo.
Oh God, you've been hearing a lot of stinker and hooks lately from Lee about Rodrigo, so I'm not too sure of that.
Yeah, but Lee Gunn doesn't have any sense, so it's fine.
But to be fair, to his credit, every time a player's had a bad game, that's the only time he's put stinker and hooked. And when they have a good game, he puts like standing ovation or something like that.
Yeah, but I think his judgment of what is a good and bad game is just not known. I mean, for me,
I
for
mean,
someone like Lee Gunner, you're either really crap or really good. There's no in between.
I mean,
So
he.
I just try and not associate myself with any sort of that negativity.
Mm, but he chants so many facts about Arsenal, though. You can't deny that. Big up League Honor, though. There's no way I'm ever talking about another football channel without bigging them up at the same time.
Yeah, I mean you've picked him up, so it means I don't have to.
Yeah, yeah. Oh.
But back to the women's football. I think on Sunday's game, I think tactically it was also wrong what we did. I think
Oh
we
shoot! I didn't realize. Oh my god! I didn't realize there were so many. Well, 10. I didn't realize there were comments because I'd kept the media tab up. Anyway, big up Melina, big up Daniel, big up everyone. I hope you're all doing well.
Melina's and I've even read the comments as well. Melina's in there as well. Hi, I'm here. Matt talked about Arsenal like you. I don't always talk about Arsenal. Well, come on. I only mention you because you made my day even worse. Melina, I like your confidence, and I was confident. I come out on Twitter. I don't know if anyone of you saw, and said I'm probably absolutely deluded, but we're beating Barcelona 5-1 on Sunday.
Oh god, your inner tie has come out.
No, but I mean, at least with Ty doesn't. Ty thinks it's real, whereas I was like, I'm probably very deluded, but for me, there was no other way to go into the game. Otherwise, it's just why? What's the point of turning up? But yeah, we lost massively, and
Who would you say is more deluded out of Igal and Ty?
Ty. I think Igal says some crazy things, but Ty is just.
Ty.
I can't get past the wind. The
Big up
wind.
both of them though.
Big up, Ty. Big up, Igal.
Look, I'm sticking to my words. If I mention a football
Yeah, to
channel
be
on
fair,
my
Melina, you are actually nice to me. I think it's Carlito. It's a bit of a different argument, but you're nice to me. I'll give you that. But
Sorry about the comb.
you've been treating your moustache.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for the handlebar.
But
Suleiman the Magnificent, if you remember.
yes. But yeah, I think tactically we pressed very high, which we didn't get benefit out of in that first 25 minutes. We then tired ourselves out, and Barcelona then pounced on us after that. Barcelona are very tactically smart. They can look like they're not playing well, and then just suddenly turn it on at the right time when they want to. Um, and we just couldn't handle it. I think we had too many players missing. Too too much going wrong, and I just think there did show some holes. I think with Sam Kerr being missing all year round and Myra Ramirez playing next to every game up front, she's burnt out and is inconsistent at the moment. And she needs a rest, and obviously that will help when Sam comes back. But it is what it is. We've had to not deal without that for now. And then I think there does need to be changes in defence because I looked at Neve Charles and she just looks completely different to how she was last year. Maybe it was because the injuries at the start of the season took her out of shape, but she looked terrible. And then Sonia did a bizarre thing and put her in centre back, and she looked even worse. And I was kind of like, yeah, we need a left back, bloody hell. And then JRK on the right. I've been giving JRK the benefit of the doubt. But I've lost patience now, and I think we need another right wing. I think we need a right winger to back up James. Because obviously James, again, is not always fit, so we need a competent backup to come in. My guess is someone like Olivia Smith from Liverpool, if Chelsea can get her, or look for someone else, but we'll have to wait and see. I think it showed
Do you
some
think our
glaring
women's
errors.
defense needs improving?
Yes.
Do you think we should go for
I,
that
I, I do I do I do I do
Wendy
say
Renard?
I do say yes with a caveat of obviously Naomi Girma, who we signed for the second amount. Well, at the time she was a record transfer fee, and then we signed Kira Walsh, which I think broke. Well, she might actually still be the record, but yeah, we signed Naomi Girma for a lot of money, and obviously she came with a calf injury. Didn't play for the first 3 or 4 weeks. Come back, and in her debut, she tore the calf again and hasn't really played, and has only played before the Barcelona game. She played 245 minutes. Well, actually no, she played 45 minutes and then played against Barcelona. So my argument is, I think we'll see better from her next season when she settles in. You'll have Kadisha Buchanan hopefully back at some point next year. Next season. Sorry, not next year. Next season. So I think centre back, I think we'll be okay eventually. I do think again, Kira Walsh was someone I think hasn't settled in fully yet. I think the way she plays and the way we've had to change to play to fit Kira Walsh, I think's not worked in the big games. And I think again we'll probably need a pre-season to fully settle her in.
What about
I think that itself will improve the defence as well. So me, I'm looking at left back because right back you've got Lucy Bronzers here for now. It's a position to
what
look
about
at in the
that
future, but
what about that seasoned French international?
Renard.
Yeah, Wendy Renard.
But she's not really playing for. She's not really starting for Lyon anymore. I think she's age is maybe catching up with Wendy a little bit. So I personally wouldn't. I
Would
personally
you
go
have
for.
bought her like if like would she have been a good signing for us like 5 or 6 years ago?
Oh yeah, back in her prime, she was one of the best centre backs around. But no, I mean, I personally wouldn't. I mean, I'd look at left back in the immediate term, and then potentially right back after Lucy Bronze leaves the club, because obviously I think she'll maybe stay another year or two, but either retire or go after that. But yeah.
Big up, Daniel.
Big up, Nippin. And Matt, how's it going?
Big up, Verse. I'm all good. How are you, Daniel?
Just need us to get top 5, that's all, bro. I want Champions League again.
Oh, come on, stop being so negative, man.
Nippin. You know me, I'm usually the most positive guy on this in the Chelsea
You
fan base,
used
but
to
not
be
this
so
season.
positive. Now you've gone down the same route as that Bobby Fairview guy.
Oh, don't compare me to that guy, man. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
come on.
I'm my own person, bro.
Nipping
My own person, bro.
No one's like Bobby. Bobby is his own.
I'll tell you someone who's worse.
special.
I'll tell you someone who's worse.
Go on.
I'll let you guess.
I mean, if I'm going to guess mainstream, you're going to say Minerals. Yeah, but Minerals is just... The thing is with Johnny is you can see what he's doing is trying to make himself a little bit of money from YouTube. Like, at least you can see the facade and at least he might be grifting, but I mean, at least you can just respect the grifting game. But Bobby's not even grifting. Bobby's just incensed and he just rambles on about just nonsense just all the time. I think yesterday I saw him. He put stats up saying, "Oh, the Bournemouth defender that we could be signing, how terrible his performance was," and he showed the attacking stats. It's like
he's defender.
This is a centre back. Like
defender.
the only relevant stat.
Centre back.
The only relevant stat was like passing accuracy, which was like 77%, which is all right. That's a bit low, but like I hadn't seen the game, so maybe he was bad, and that was just I don't know why he put the screenshot up. I was like,
why are you Enzo out,
target
Daniel?
and stuff like that.
Why are you Enzo out?
Because he chats rubbish. And he flip-flops all the time.
He's chatting facts.
I mean, I wouldn't say he's chatting facts, but my argument is every manager chats shit.
He keeps changing his mind all the time, bro.
I don't. The problem is, I think managers will talk a lot of stuff.
Chatting shit, but you don't see Man City going up in arms about him now, do you? You don't see their fans going up in arms.
I think that's a bit different, Nippin. I mean, Pep's got a lot of trophies in the bank to give him some time. But my point is, every manager will say something stupid or say something they don't mean, or say something to deflect from criticism, or even to try and take criticism off the players and onto him. I've seen it with Mourinho. I've seen it with Conte. I've seen it with plenty of managers, Chelsea, non-Chelsea. And I find it just I just tend not to listen to managers anymore, because you never know whether they're actually telling the truth or not, and there's so many agendas of how they can spin stuff and whatever. So I just try and focus on the pitch stuff, really. If on the pitch stuff is also wrong, then you can understand it, but just for kind of what he says, I feel like every manager you could spin that on, realistically.
To say something like more like Poch every day. That's all I need to say.
Oh, well, I mean, I think he's completely different to Poch personally, but
he's saying the same things.
I mean, he's saying the same things in terms of actually the last week he started to criticise the recruitment a little bit, but I'd argue, aren't we all? So if we're all complaining about the recruitment, then I can't blame him for doing it. No, I don't. Do you think? I don't think that will get him sacked. personally.
Pochettino got sacked. He criticised the recruitment.
Yes, but there's only so much. There's only so much. People, you can only sack someone so many times for that, because there is no one, despite what people like Johnny say, there is no manager is really a complete yes man. Some managers will get behind the owners for a period of time, but every manager's patience runs thin eventually. So you will get managers criticised. I mean, Mourinho criticised Roman's recruitment policies at times. Every manager does. Conte does it every 5 bloody seconds. Obviously, some managers take longer time to complain if it's not going well. But if they keep doing that, they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep coming to the same end.
Do you think the people who sing Roman and Abramovich are embarrassing?
I wouldn't call them embarrassing personally. I do think it's pointless because whether you like him or not.
Speaking of Enzo, do you think he will be here long term?
Well, I'll answer the Roman thing first. So I think I just think it's pointless because he's not going to come back whether we like it or not. So I think the whole point of chanting for Roman is just doesn't really. It's one of these things where our fans keep doing stuff that doesn't actually achieve anything. It's just pointless. I'd rather waste my breath on actual things that make a difference. But people want to chant Roman Abramovich, fine, they can do it. I'm not going to call them embarrassing for it. They just people do what they need to do. What was your other question, Nippin? Too busy doing his moustache. Daniel, what do you think about the Roman chants?
I just think it's a bit hypocritical because a few months ago they were saying we got our Chelsea back in December.
Yeah, that is also the point of a lot of these fans were saying that as well, and it's also a point of I think people are very disingenuous to the point of they suddenly think we were like in 2021. I know we won the Champions League and that's a great achievement, but we weren't exactly a fully well-run club. We just spent 100 million on Lukaku, who absolutely flopped. We haven't been close to the league since Conte won the league, and arguably you could say that as a caveat of we had no Champions League, so it made it easier to win the league in that season. So really, we haven't actually won the league while being in a European competition, having the same amount of games as everyone else since Mourinho second stint, and that is 10 years ago. That is a decade. So we haven't, in terms of the league, we've been nowhere near the league for a while. So I wouldn't say that's being well run. We've just done well in short cup stints, which is not sustainable in the end of the day. A cup team is your West Hams and your Leicester Cities and some of the smaller big clubs that you have to eventually go for titles and actually be in contention for titles, which we haven't been for ages. So I think, yes, it's not gone well under the new owners at the moment, but it wasn't exactly sunshine and rainbows in the final 5-6 years of Roman.
But if you say that to any ultra Roman, they'll just jump onto you like a bunch of angry hyenas.
Well, let them do that. It's fine. I'm a big boy. I can deal with a bunch of people crying, but it's not. My point would be I've not changed my mind on this. I was very vocal with my criticism of the ownership under Roman, under Mourinho, since 2018. So it's not a thing that I've just started now because I'm in bed with the new owners or I'm getting brown envelopes or whatever. Wouldn't be in this 1-bedroom flat if I was getting brown envelopes from the owners. I'll tell you that right now.
Do you think certain YouTube channels are brown envelopes? I'm not going to name them.
I mean, this term brown envelopes I don't like too much because I don't think anyone's actually getting brown envelopes. I think people are the thing people are buying for is information and knowledge inside the club. That's what these accounts are looking for, because if they want some sort of credibility, they need to have inside knowledge of the club, and that will include journalists. So that's why you've seen Matt Law not be as reputable as he has been before, because he didn't tune to the new owner's way of thinking, and the new owner's got rid of whatever mole or source he had at Chelsea FC. So he's still okay with Chelsea news and gets some stuff right, but he's not the tier one journalist that he was back in Roman days. And that's where if you're Fabrizio Romano's, or maybe you're David Ornstein's, or whoever Ben Jacobs we know is. I mean, I've spoken to Ben many a times, in video form and private chat. He's a great guy, but I think he does have a good
fan.
But I think he's a Leicester fan. But I think he does have good connection with the ownership, and that breeds information. Does that mean they're a brown envelope and getting paid for it physically by money? Probably not, but indirectly from the information they get, they probably make more money in their career. So it's a bit, I don't know. I don't like it. Brown envelope is too simplified to say that, but there are YouTube channels and journalists that are connected to the club in some way or another.
I think it's just a term loosely moved around. Because for them, because everyone is like, oh, if you don't agree with me, you're a brown envelope.
It's a very trendy thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'll say.
With people like that, they just say anything with them to get the most views. That's why Fab and Ornstein all that always tweet about Chelsea, because they know how our fans are going to react to it.
Yeah, that also helps. We don't react to stuff as much. They'll go and talk about Man United or whoever else. But we react to transfer news and anything in such a way. Like, never before have I seen academy kids' contracts being announced. Like, here we go by Fabrizio Romano. Yet we do get that.
And potential players, like.
And even the aspect of, oh, Chelsea are looking at this random youngster from wherever, and they'll pull it out because they know they'll get the traction of Chelsea fans having a go at it, and they'll probably know from their sourcing that Chelsea have just got it on a list of scouted players. But that doesn't mean, just because you scout a player doesn't mean you're actually going to sign him. You're just looking at a wide range of young players to see how they are. But that'll be, oh, Chelsea are interested. Well, technically they are interested because they're looking at him, but that doesn't mean they're going to sign him. And it breeds the negativity, and it breeds interactions and whatever. So I think the problem is people are just, they look at things too simply. Take everything by how it says and looks, and don't critically think of what's happening. And the problem is, I think a lot of some of these YouTubers, I don't think they're stupid. I think they know that they probably do know deep inside some of them what this is, but they know that if they portray it the way Fabrizio's going to portray it, then again they'll get more interactions and more clicks, and that's how it goes. And that's why I just try not. I just try not to get involved with the big people like that, because you just can't get a single point out of them that's just genuine.
Hmm.
I mean, Nippin, what did you think of the Everton win in general?
Yeah, I was going to ask you that question.
Well, you listen to
Um,
if you upload my fan cam, you'll know.
I'll upload it tomorrow because I never got a chance because of my schedule, because of my shift pattern being up in the air.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it's a win. So that is the predominant thing that happens, as Daniel said. It's another step closer to potentially getting top 4, top 5. I think, as far as I'm aware, it is going to be definitely top 5, isn't it?
Yeah, it's top
Unless
5.
I'm, yeah.
Do you
So yeah,
think that? Do you think the damage has been done?
what I would say is it's not in our hands.
Yeah.
Because one, we have the hardest run in, and two, we are already technically behind. But
Liverpool
I
have
will,
won the league, so
but
surely they'll
no, but
be.
that doesn't matter, because technically you could argue that they've been on that idea of they're definitely going to win the league for a while now, and yet they've still went and spanked Tottenham 5-1. So
Because
yes,
they put their A game on there.
no, but they didn't have to win Tottenham to win the league, because they could have just won it this week. They've been basically confirmed title winners for ages now. For the last 2-3 weeks, it's kind of been, you've seen Arsenal struggle and drop points. It was a matter of when, not if. So I don't. You might see a little drop off from them, of course, if they've gone out and potentially got drunk or whatever and done some stuff. But I don't think you're going to see a massive drop off from them. I mean, for me, it's the game that, if we're going to drop points in any of the three, if we get a draw in that, I'm not totally. I'm happy enough with that, providing we go on to win the rest of the games. But my point that I will make is at this point of the season where everyone drops points when they shouldn't. So just because we have got a hard run in doesn't mean we can still get top 5, because it's no doubt we played two of the people we're facing, so that could easily change in our favour should we win our own games, and we can pull it back into our hands in that way. But you'll see other teams drop points. You've seen, I mean, arguably if we beat Ipswich, we'd have it in our own hands, and if we beat Brentford, because then other teams in that period also drop points.
We did beat Brentford.
No, but I mean, we didn't. Well, but I mean, if we gain them 4 points, we'd be sitting in 4th or 3rd, and looking at it a bit more happier. But because all other teams, Aston Villa's have lost matches, Newcastle's lost matches, Forest have lost matches against. Forest lost against Everton. We just beat. People will drop points against smaller teams. I think Villa have also got a bit of a. It's not as a hard running as us, but they've got your Fulhams, your Bournemouths that are still competing for the They still want to try and get into the Conference League, so they're still competing for European places. So that you got Forest, and obviously Newcastle have got games against us. So there's a potential for us to do it still. We've just got to be on our A game and get results. That's as simple as that. And obviously the Everton game, it's a hard game in itself, because Everton play in a way that is absolute worst thing for a Chelsea side nowadays. But we got that result over the line, so now it's going to Newcastle and trying to spoil that party, and going to Liverpool. United, hopefully that should be the easier one, because I think they're fully looking at the Europa League.
Oh, come on, we will beat them.
Well, yeah, but Nippon, it's the games when we should beat people that we don't, and we've not exactly.
Okay, and the games we shouldn't be beating people, we do beat them. So
considering how bad
logically,
United have
we'll
been
win
in the
against
last,
Liverpool.
Nippon, considering how bad United have been in the last 5 years, how many times have we actually beat them? There's so many times where we've lost because of a Rashford stunning goal, or times where we've had decisions go against us, but Man United somehow get it over the line. I wouldn't be surprised if we drop points against United. So I wouldn't overlook it too much. But I think that Forest game at the end of the season will be interesting because it will either be a team must win, or it will be a position where both potentially, if they draw, they'll both be fine and they'll both just pass it around the back for 90 minutes and it'll be a 0-0. I could definitely see something like that happen, depending on how it goes. But you just don't know. But that game is going. That game is going to be crazy. I think anyone with heart conditions or anything like that probably shouldn't watch that game. Nippon, are you falling asleep?
Yeah.
Am I rambling too much?
No, just had a look. Just couldn't sleep that well. So, who are we playing next? I think it's
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Oh God, I'm playing my cousin's team.
I'll focus on winning that Conference League first. I want a trophy, man. I don't care how small it is.
Oh yeah, I don't get why people are just like, oh, Conference League this, Conference League. I don't care. It's a trophy. Like,
Thank you.
take anything I can get. Even if we have to play some Swedish team that have never heard of, but
Ostersunds.
it's not. Even, it's not. We're not even playing Östersund. It's Djurgården or whatever it is.
Yeah, trying to be 10th in their league or something.
Yeah, like, I mean, at least the final should play some. Well, we'll play someone at least
Semi-decent, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Legia Warsaw ain't exactly the worst team in the world, but they weren't great, I think, in this season. But it's weird. A few of the bigger teams got knocked out, so it made it even easier for us.
Yeah.
And they're playing each other.
Yeah.
They're weakening each other.
Do you think? Oh, who do you think reaches the final out of Fiorentina and Real Betis? Or both?
I feel like Betis just have that. They look like they have that edge in games. I feel like Fiorentina were a bit iffy. But am I right? They won. Didn't they get to the final or won?
They've lost 2 finals. You know,
They lost.
Yeah.
So they've got a habit of getting to the final. So it just wouldn't surprise me if they got to the final again.
Who won it? Who?
Olympiacos won it last year.
Yeah, because I remember. I do remember it now because my girlfriend's family in Belgium support Club Brugge, and Fiorentina beat them 2-1 in the semi-final, thanks to Dennis O'Doyle, who was formerly of Fulham, doing an absolutely brain dead tackle to give away a penalty after they did so much hard work, but is what it is. But yeah, they were okay, but they're not like fantastic. They're not like, oh my god, team. Like, so I think Betis do have that quality and a little bit more, I feel. Super Anthony is finally working, just not for Man United.
Right, one more point and then we log off the stream. Who do you think we will get anything done in the transfer window? It'll be another disappointing season with high expectations and low reward.
We'll get stuff done. Whether people like the things we do is another question.
I think it depends where we finish. Because if we finish in top 5, you can attract more better players.
What are your thoughts on some of our fans actively hoping we don't get top 5 just to spite the owners?
Well, for me, they're not fans. If you want your club to fail, then you're not a fan. So,
at the end of the day, no matter how I feel about the manager, the club, or the team, I always want us to do well. I don't care.
Yeah, like,
I'm not like
I just think it's a bit mental to actively want. I've never wanted my team to lose. I mean, for example, I despised Mr. Maurizio Sarri as a manager. I didn't want us to lose just so he could go. Like, it's just, for me, it just doesn't it just can't. It's not in my brain to do that because I support and love the club. I never want my club to lose. It bemuses me when people say that. But It is what it is.
At the end of the day, I'm the person who always want to be proven wrong. At the end of the day,
Yeah, if it I mean if it benefits Chelsea, then yeah, I'll happily be proven wrong.
exactly.
No, like if my opinion on Chelsea is wrong, and like we're all doom and gloom, I'll say that's wrong.
Oh yeah, when I criticize a player, I'm like, please prove me wrong. I want you to prove me wrong. Unfortunately, I find most of the time I'm not proven wrong, but a lot of the time, like, there are plenty of players I've not had. I never really had a massive liking for Callum Hudson-Odoi, but I always say, prove me wrong. Go out on that pitch and and shut me up, and then I'll happily admit that I'm wrong.
Right.
I mean, the example, I didn't want Tuchel to come in at first because I didn't really like how he was at other club at Dortmund. I didn't think he'd in PSG. I didn't think it'd work out, and then he won the Champions League and completely shut me up. And I said thank you, and I'll forget. So yeah.
Sorry, I'm dozing off. I didn't have enough sleep last night.
That's all right, Nathan.
Can't wait.
Right.
For Thursday, have the day off. Chill. Watch the football.
So, let's see. Yeah, I think I've done all my
talking for today.
Yeah, so with that being said, I'd like to thank both Matt and Daniel for coming on. I'd like to thank everyone in the comments. It was Melina and Daniel.
Just wanted to sleep again. Nip in.
Yeah, sorry.
Nip it, wake up.
Try and end the stream fast, bro,
Sorry.
because you're just going to fall asleep live and people are just going to take a
So-
picture of you
so
and then
yeah.
on the internet.
Okay, so
Here's a
yeah,
picture.
before we wrap up, Matt, where can people find you?
So I'll quickly do this so Niffin doesn't fall asleep. You can find me Matt J Ball 98 on Twitter. You can find me on the Went to Kings Motor podcast on Spotify, Apple. You can see me on the Blue Coat Project podcast, Spotify and Apple, and the membership section of Chelsea Perspective.
Yeah,
you go,
I need to speak to both of you when we wrap up, by the way.
Okay.
Right. Dan, where can people find you?
You can just follow me on X at CFC Wilco 1995. That's it. I just wanted to end it before you fall asleep again.
And you can find me on Twitter. Well, sorry, X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Nippon Sharma. You can also find me on Nippon Reviews Lifestyle and Nippon with 4 I's and 3 U's. You can find me on my own YouTube channel, NS Sports TV, my secondary YouTube channel, which is the British Lifestyle Blogger, and also on a lot of other content creators' channel. Big up Sadiq, big up Grizz, and big up most content creators on this channel. I shall see you all in the next video. Come on, you blues.
The Chelsea.
Big up.